Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicted media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. What do we got going on today? Let's see. Higher Education Day. Yeah, that's a sham anymore. National Eyewear Day. That's for old people like me.
It is what it is.
National Applesauce Cake Day. I'm not sure I've ever had. Well, maybe I have. Maybe my grandmother might have made me an applesauce cake. Josh, you ever had an applesauce cake? I can't, I don't know anywhere that makes applesauce cake. Although here in the office a little earlier, they did have some carrot cake. That is one of my favorites. But Applesauce Cake Day. Today is National Yo-Yo Day. Are you allowed to use yo-yos anymore? I don't know. I just had this conversation yesterday, the day before. I was chatting about this, and we made a comment that, anything that can potentially hurt anybody, you can't have it anymore. And I didn't know that today was National Yo-Yo Day, but I see there's a string and you throw it, and I imagine that somebody's going to sue somebody over having fun. We were talking, what our conversation the other day was merry-go-rounds and swings. I don't think merry-go-rounds are even around anymore. Could you imagine a merry-go-round where you have to get on the merry-go-round and put a seatbelt on? I mean, we used to get on there and jump, right? That was what the fun of it was. Get on a swing, jump. Can you get hurt? Yes. Who cares? That's what it's all about, is having fun. You learn how to do it better next time. I digress. What else? National Drive-In Day. Another one of those. National Drive-In Movie Day. Now I want to know, question of the day. Do you have any more? Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? I don't even know that there's any drive-in movies around anymore. Have you ever? I shouldn't say this, but, well, I can, because we're on radio, we're on social media. How many people were in the trunk of the car when you went to the drive-in movie? Josh, I see you smiling there. You must have indulged like the rest of us, right? And I had, when I was in high school, my first car was a Chevy Caprice Classic. It was a boat. So, you got a lot of bit of room there. So now, Josh, we should have put that in as our question today. How many people were in the trunk of the car when you went to the drive-in movie? Maybe if we hadn't had so many people in the trunk of the cars, maybe the drive-in movies might still be there. Yeah, just throw that out. And then how many people went in a truck, right? You had to have the back of the pickup, put your chairs out there, nice warm day, enjoy it. Reminiscing. And I never thought I'd be one of those people that say the good old days, but those were fun days. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 18 points. The S&P 500 is down 5. NASDAQ down 23 points. Oil up $1.57 a barrel. Gas prices. California, we're now under $5 a gallon. Believe it or not, $4.98. Still way more than anybody else. $2.98 a gallon is what they're paying in Mississippi. I guess the oil companies figure, why would we want to gouge Mississippi when we can gouge California? No, they're not gouging anybody. It's just garbage coming out of Washington, D.C. Not that we ever get any garbage out of Washington, D.C.
You know better than that.
NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA took a jump now. They're number 2, second largest company in the country next to Microsoft. They might take over from Microsoft. They passed Apple in the last couple of days. They're part of the 3 trillion club. Seeing what else is going on. Big Lots. Stock slides 22% after the retailer posts bigger than expected losses. Struggling consumer stocks. Wonder why these companies are struggling. Starbucks, McDonald's, Nike. They're on the list of struggling companies. But there's no inflation. Don't believe what you're seeing when you go and pay the bill. Just ask the president, ask the vice president. She was here 2 days ago on another one of her goofy missions. God only knows what does she really do? Can't figure that out, And don't say it's a racist thing, because if other than the fact that she's too smart for the job, I feel one of the best presidents or vice presidents ever would have been Condoleezza Rice. So you can't tell me that it's all the garbage that we do here over time. Let's take a look. 21 dumbest things we keep spending too much money on. Let's see. Online shopping. Interesting. Looking at a scenario of a product that is on both Amazon and Capital One Shopping. And just doing quick math, Capital One Shopping is about 30% cheaper than Amazon. How much are you willing to pay for the convenience of Amazon? And I know that I pay a bunch for the convenience of Amazon. I could be, I work a lot of hours, so I'll frequently say, something that's just a little bit easier for me. What is your time worth becomes the question. So I'll look and say, okay, I can be sitting in my recliner, or I can be sitting at my desk, order something from Amazon. I've got it by noon tomorrow, sometimes even earlier. I'm also a Walmart shopper. Are you a Walmart? Josh, are you a Walmart shopper? I do the Walmart online. I love that one. You pay your $10 or $100 a year, and they'll deliver for free. So if I were to order right now, which I cannot, I can put it in there to schedule it to deliver this afternoon, as long as I have a $35 minimum order. So I've always got an order going on my phone for Walmart. Sometimes I'll check and see. Ironic enough, I needed some antifreeze, and it was the exact same price, Walmart or Amazon. Check it out. Another one, spending too much money. Lottery. Lottery is, to me, if you think about the lottery, all that really is entertainment. Don't expect to win, but the thought of what would you do if, the entertainment idea of it. Let's see. Car repairs. Cloth removes car scratches and saves a fortune. Never tried that one. I'm going to have to try that. Cancel your doorbell subscription. Use the mini Wi-Fi cam instead. There's an interesting one. You can check out. I just got this yesterday. When was the last time? And I feel stupid for this one. I know I'm going to get a lot of people to tell me I'm stupid, but I'm paying way too much money for DirecTV. So I haven't checked the service in a while. Needed to have a repair person come out. They came out yesterday. They asked me about it. They said, Mr. Siegel, you're probably paying $50 or $60 a month too much. Guess who's going to be on the phone dealing with that one? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, your equity could make a move possible. Appraisal fees, a guide for first-time home buyers. Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Remember, strategy beats rate always. Every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, APR. They tell us the actual number that you need to put into your mortgage calculator to find out your mortgage payment if you do not have a mortgage calculator. RonIsMyLender.com. RonIsMyLender.com. Get our calculator, no obligation. It's free. Let's take a look and see what rates did yesterday. 30-year conforming rates down 6.907. Jumbo loans were up 7.2. FHA loans up 6.714. The VA loans, those were down 6.296. USDA loans, rural areas, generally no down payment, 6.639. That one was down as well. Looking a lot of 3 out of 5 were down. We'll see what's going to happen with them. What's driving all of this right now? Well, what we're looking at right now is I guess I should tell you that right now as we're speaking, where is it? The S&P 500 is down 8 points. And again, today we're going to tread water. Why? Tomorrow is the big jobs reports for the month of May. Those all come out tomorrow. And we're looking at the numbers. The 10-year Treasury is up 2 basis points, 4.296. Mortgage-backed securities are down 10 basis points, which means rates are up just a little bit. And let's see what's driving all of it. Well, we got cuts. The European Central Bank and the Bank of Canada both lowered their rates yesterday. They both cut by 25 basis points. There's a lot of times there's a coordination between what the Canada and what Europe does and what the U.S. Central Bank does. Does that mean that we're going to lower rates next month? No. But it might be on the horizons, and we're going to be watching for that. Initial jobless claims measures individuals filing for unemployment benefits for the very first time. Rose 9,000 last week to 229,000, which was 9,000 more than expected. Continuing claims, which measures individuals continuing to receive benefits after their initial claims, rose 2,000 to 1.792 million. This metric remains to remain around the highest level since November 2021, and that shows once you are laid off, it's becoming harder to find a new job. Challenger Job Cut Report showed that cuts were little changed, but hiring announcements fell to their lowest level in a decade. And I've watched also, one of them that I follow a lot is Danielle DiMartino. And in her report, she's coming out talking about a lot of different issues than what we're seeing from the government. Manufacturing sector, ADP employment report showed that contraction in manufacturing jobs in May, a trend that is expected to continue into June. This sector has faced persistent challenges, and the anticipated job growth might be modest at best. Service sector has shown mixed signals, while the ISM Services Business Activity Index reported a significant surge, indicating strong top-line performance. There are underlying issues such as rising accounts placed for collection, which reflect financial stress among businesses. Non-farm payroll, according to LinkUp's forecast, non-farm payroll employment coming out tomorrow is expected to increase by approximately 125,000 jobs. Slowdown compared to the previous months, but still indicates positive growth, particularly in healthcare, social assistance, and transportation sectors. Not expecting any change in the unemployment rate. Should still be right around 3.9%. We'll see what happens because these numbers get revised dramatically every single time. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When we come back, your equity could make a move possible. Appraisal fees, a guide for first-time home buyers, all that and more. Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Your equity could make a move possible. Many homeowners looking to sell feel like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Today's mortgage rates are higher than the one they currently have on their home, and that's making it harder to want to sell and make a move. Maybe you're in the same boat, but what if there was a way to offset these higher borrowing costs? There is. And the money you need probably already exists in your current home in the form of equity. What is equity? Think of equity as a simple math question. Freddie Mac explains, quote, your home's equity is the difference between how much your home is worth and how much you owe on your mortgage, unquote. Your equity grows as you pay down your loan over time and as home prices climb. And thanks to the rapid home price appreciation we saw in recent years, you probably have a whole lot more of that than you realize. The latest from Census and Adam shows more than 2 out of 3 homeowners have either completely paid off their mortgages or have at least 50% equity. Boatloads of equity. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feeds, you are seeing the chart. 39.3% own their home free and clear. 27.8% mortgaged homes with greater than 50% equity. 33.9% mortgaged homes with less than 50% equity. Don't think of equity, though. It's not always going to be your best friend. That does create more risk. That means the majority of homeowners have a game-changing amount of equity right now. How your equity can help fuel your move. After you sell your house, that equity can help you move without worrying as much about today's mortgage rates. Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com, says, quote, the consideration today's homeowners should review is what their home equity picture looks like. With the typical home listing price up 40% from just 5 years ago, Many home sellers are sitting on a healthy equity cushion. This means they're likely to walk away from a home sale with proceeds that they can use to offset the amount of borrowing needed for their next home purchase, unquote. To give you some examples, here are a few ways you can use equity to buy your next home. Be an all-cash buyer. You've been living in your current home for a long time. You might have enough equity to buy your home without having to take out a loan. If that's the case, you won't need to borrow any money or worry about mortgage rates. Make a larger down payment. Your equity could also be used toward your next down payment. It might even be enough to let you put a larger amount down so you won't have to borrow as much at today's rates. First step, determine how much equity you have in your home. Want to find out how much equity you have? To do that, you need two things: current mortgage balance on your home, current value of your home. RSRmoney.com will get you the current value. You can probably find out mortgage balance on your monthly mortgage statement to understand the current market value of your house. You can pay hundreds of dollars for an appraisal, or give me a call at 800-306-1990, and I'll get it to you for free. Once you've connected with a trusted agent, which I can do for you, and run the numbers, you're one step closer to making a move you may not have thought was realistic. All thanks to your equity. Bottom line, if you want to find out how much equity you have and talk about it, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, that's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by RSRmoney.com, RSRmoney.com. And I should mention that we have just released our new home buyers guides and home sellers guides. So if you want those, we've got the summer editions for 2024, rsrhbg.com. That gets you the buyer's guide. rsrhsg.com. That'll get you the seller's guide. The only difference in there is the B or the S at the end of them. rsrhbg.com, rsrhsg.com. Again, that's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, appraisal fees, a guide for first-time home buyers. We'll talk about that as well. You can reach me again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today. I shouldn't do that. Mortgage 101, brought to you by Geneva Financial. Mortgage 101, brought to you by Geneva Financial. Appraisal fees, a guide for first-time home buyers. So speaking of first-time home buyers, we are putting out, Josh, this is new, a first-time home buyer guide. And you'll be able to get that. I haven't set it up yet, but it will be by the middle of the afternoon. rsrlinks.com/FTHB. rsrlinks.com/FTHB. 2024 version of the first-time home buyer's guide. Appraisal fees, a guide for first-time home buyers. Buying your first home is an exciting milestone. You've worked hard to improve your credit, save up a down payment, and set aside enough money to cover the cost of unexpected repairs. If you want the process to go smoothly, it's important to understand each step. Once a seller accepts your offer, You'll need to pay for an appraisal, but how much is an appraisal? It depends on where you live. We're going to talk about it. What is a home appraisal? Home appraisal is a professional opinion of a home's worth. Professional appraisers consider several factors when estimating the value of residential property: lot size, square footage, architectural style, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, current location. An appraiser does not just look around a home and guess how much it's worth. They conduct a thorough inspection, review recent market trends, research recent sales. Note that appraisers only use comparables to estimate homes' value. A comparable is a similar property in the same neighborhood. For example, if you want to know the value of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home measuring 1,900 square feet, it's not fair to compare it against a 6-bedroom, 4-bath home measuring 4,000 square feet. The appraiser would look for another 3-bedroom home with approximately the same square footage before making an estimate. Why do you need an appraisal? A mortgage is a type of secured debt, which means your lender can seize your property and sell it if you don't repay the loan as agreed. In the mortgage industry, this is known as a foreclosure. The purpose of conducting a foreclosure is to repossess the property, sell it, and use the money from the sale to cover your loan balance. Get matched with a personal loan that's right for you today. Before the bank approves your mortgage application, you'll need an appraisal showing that the home you want to buy is worth at least as much as you want to borrow. This helps the lender manage risk. Lenders also use appraisals to determine your interest rate and calculate the minimum down payment required. Here's an example of why you need an appraisal. Assume you applied for a $400,000 mortgage. The bank gives you the money without verifying the value of your home. Due to financial hardship, you get behind on your monthly payments. Eventually, the bank initiates foreclosure proceedings. Suddenly, the bank finds out the home is only worth $200,000, far less than the balance remaining on the loan. Even if the bank sells the property right away, it won't get enough money to satisfy your mortgage. Getting a home appraisal reduces the risk that a lender won't be able to recoup its funds. So how much is an appraisal fee? The home buying process certainly isn't cheap. You have to save a down payment, pay for an appraisal, cover several closing costs. Therefore, it's natural to wonder how much an appraisal fee will be. It depends on where you live and who you hire. Appraisers are just like other professional service providers. Some have low fees while others charge a premium for their expertise. Generally, you can expect to pay more if you live in a city with a high cost of living, such as Los Angeles, New York, or Seattle. However, a home appraisal usually costs between $500 to $700. This includes an on-site inspection, market research. If your property has unique features, the appraiser may charge a little more than usual to account for extra research time. An overall of the appraisal process, an overview of the appraisal process. Now that you understand the costs involved in getting an appraisal, it's helpful to review the process. If there's anything you're not sure about, don't hesitate to ask your real estate agent or loan officer for more information. Once a seller accepts your offer, the bank hires a licensed professional to complete the required appraisal. The process begins with a thorough inspection of the home. During an inspection, an appraiser evaluates the structural soundness of the property, looks for potential safety issues, and documents major improvements. Next, the appraiser conducts an in-depth research to complement the information gathered during the inspection. For example, a licensed appraiser typically uses real estate databases, government records, and other sources to gather information on comparable sales. Finally, the appraiser prepares a report documenting their opinion of the home's value. Now, what's the difference between an appraisal and a home inspection? Although an appraisal inspection includes an inspection, it's different from the home inspection used to uncover defects that could cost a buyer thousands of dollars in the future. The purpose of an appraisal is to determine the home's value, while the purpose of an inspection is to prevent you from buying a home with bad plumbing, termite damage, and other major problems. Next steps: once your lender receives the appraisal report, an underwriter will decide whether to approve or deny your mortgage application. If you're approved, the content of the report may affect your interest rate or reduce the amount of money needed at closing. Remember, the appraisal is only the appraiser's determination of value. It does not mean that you can't pay more or less. It doesn't mean that the buyer or the seller is not going to require more or less for the property. The value of every piece of property is always the same. What a willing buyer will pay a willing seller. The appraiser is just determining the valuation for the collateral of the lender. That is Mortgage 101, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
My boss just pushed me over.